hardest question I've ever asked. Okay? How many folks would like to take a moment to learn how to work with a Spanish-speaking seller, even if you don't speak a single word of Spanish? Okay? Because we've been doing it for years, and I speak none. Okay? Here's how you do that. This is another really great nugget. All right. Here's what you do. You send your letter out. English on one side, Spanish on the other. Okay? English on one side, Spanish on the other. And you send it out to whatever direct mail campaign you're doing. So if it's a zip code mailer, vacant house mailer, quick claim deed mailing, whichever direct mail campaign you're doing, English on one side and Spanish on the other. Now, where are you going to send these folks? Because you don't speak any Spanish, you don't want them calling you. Well, one thing that we did was we created a 24-hour recorded message in Spanish, and we sent them to that 24-hour recorded message. The other thing that we also do is you can send them to a bilingual answering service, which you can very simply find in the phone book. You will provide the bilingual answering service with whatever telephone script you choose to use. They will ask the questions of the person in Spanish. They will translate them to English for you, and they will either email them or fax them to you, either daily, weekly, however you set that up. Does that work so far? Yes? You could also send them to Lewis's website, because I just found out that he's doing Spanish websites. You know where he got that idea? Seriously. I am the only person out there who has ever dealt with the Spanish-speaking sellers. Now, before we act, well, okay, well, let me finish this first. Okay, so now you just got this incredible deal, right? That was faxed or emailed to you. Oh, this is perfect. This is such a deal. Because these folks have the same problems everybody else has. What are you going to do? You still don't speak Spanish. The next thing you do is you go back to the telephone book, Yellow Pages, and you look under interpreters. And you know, the first time I did that, I found real estate interpreters. Never knew there was such a thing until I needed one. So I have an interpreter that I work with on a regular basis. She charges $75 an hour for her time, and that's generally, you know, $50, $75 an hour for their time. They will meet you and your seller at whatever location. They will go through the deal. They will go through the negotiation. You sign the paperwork, and you're done. Now, if this is a house like that you're buying, almost every title company in the country has a Spanish section or someone who speaks Spanish at the title company. So basically, what we do is we send our letter out, English on one side, Spanish on the other. We send the responses either to Lewis's website, to a 24-hour recorded message, or to the answering service. We use the interpreter, we put together the deal, we take it to the title company, and we're done. Is that incredibly simple? Yes? None of your competitors are doing this. Now, the other point that I wanted to make to you earlier was, I just read, my degree is in accounting, I'm a numbers person, I can't help myself. And so I stay, you know, with a lot of the statistical kind of stuff, and I just read a census report. Did you know that at this point in time, 25% of the United States population are Spanish-speaking homeowners? 25% of homeowners are of Hispanic background. Did you know that? Do you know what a huge part of the market that is, guys? That none of your competitors are working with, guys? Okay? If you do an open house, for example, and you want to sell a property, you just bring a mortgage broker in who's a Spanish-speaking mortgage broker to that open house that you're creating. Don't leave this on. Don't leave those people out in the dust. Yes?
Spanish is a lot more common, but there's communities of other people where I've worked with, they don't speak English at all. Once you made that first deal, you might just be the man to go to for everything.
Exactly.
Or woman.
Absolutely.
Where do you find that Spanish-speaking interpreter?
We just went to the Yellow Pages and looked under interpreters. Go to the Yellow Pages and look under interpreters, and we actually found real estate interpreters. I was really surprised. I didn't know there was such a thing. Okay? So just that's another nugget, because that's a sector of the market